we've seen lately is they've begun to devolve into more specialized. So you have like the band parents and the football parents. You have like the booster clubs, and it's really drawn away from the overall parent groups. I'm starting to see them come back now, because now you're seeing more of the frustration about curriculum. What's being taught in schools? The over-sexualization of material and things like that in schools too. So you're starting to see parents group up again, but that's my best theory on what happened to them. I just think parents started, they're the baseball parents or the softball parents, and so they're not in that overall group. But and the superintendents they don't want them to meet. They don't want to encourage parents to group up and meet like that. So all of the above, I think, are some of the reasons for that. That's a great question.
Great question.
Yes, sir.
Why is it the business of the U.S. Department of Education to stick their noses into a child's sexual orientation before they can even write their name? It's ridiculous.
By the way, I could have cut you off at why is it the Federal Department of Business? Right there, exactly. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know the last time they've done anything that does anything other than just get in the way of the education system. I mean, and that's the reality. And you guys know that. We talk about that in D.C. And Jackson knows this better than I do. But in D.C., that is the mentality. It's not that there's always some ideological bent to whatever they're doing. I'm going to tell you, we announced the first ever audit of the State Department of Education a few months ago. And I was proud to stand with the governor and say, absolutely, we've never audited the Department of Education in the state of Oklahoma. Can you believe that? The majority of our state revenue flows through the Department of Education. We've never audited it. And the state superintendent called it an attack on public education. Called me out in the press release for calling for the audit. It's absurd. But you know what? One of the good things we're going to find out from that too, all the federal money we're taking, sir, we asked the auditor, what exactly are we agreeing to get those federal dollars? Because I'm telling you, they don't give those things without strings. Right. So let's see what federal money we're getting. Let's see where all the money's going. Let's see what all the employees. Let's look at everything in the department. You know what? As taxpayers, you deserve that type of transparency. So I was absolutely supportive of that. But yes, sir, they have no business in that. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any way to get handwriting brought back?
Yes. Okay. This is a great. Yep.
Let me tell you the reason. I used to work in the Oklahoma City school system. Mm-hmm. I was working in an elementary school, and we had a parent come. Her husband transferred back from Thailand. She was so concerned that her kindergartner would not pass the writing program in our kindergarten. Yeah. Okay. And she showed it to me, and this child wrote better than the fifth graders that we had in our building.
Yep.
Okay, can we bring this back?
Absolutely. And this is what I was talking about. We get obsessed with certain things. It's like the technology now. That's all that schools wanted to push is technology. And so then all of a sudden you go a few years and you go, we're not even teaching basic handwriting anymore. Yeah. Instead of saying, look, we want an overall set of basic skills to be mastered. Yeah, and then, hey, if you want to go down the pathway of getting down the road more in technology or shop or we'll explore it then.
Would be good.
But the basic level things like handwriting, we have to have more of an emphasis there. That's an emphasis on the basics. Absolutely.
Otherwise, if they don't learn handwriting, they won't learn
where are they going?
That's
right. Oops.
How are they know it's going to be right?
Yep, great question. Any other questions for me?
Yeah,
yes,
I have some experience with some government entities.
When else are they?
And the more I experience I have with government entities, it appeared that they had an agenda. And that agenda wasn't for the wholesome welfare of my child. None of that. It was for something else. So, and after 3.5 years of fighting that, I realized I'm wasting my time. These guys got an agenda. No matter what evidence I present, it ain't gonna matter. Only if I had video. And maybe then something will happen. You know what I mean? So I started to realize these guys have an actual agenda. Now these Department of Education people have an actual agenda. It's not to teach our children anything except what they want them to know. And that's to go along, get along, all this kind of stuff, lovey-dovey, and so forth, which is great to a certain degree. But there was a point in time when, look, the Lord set out the divine order, okay? Man runs the household. It's been that way forever, and it works best when the divine order in anything. In anything you do, all life, if you follow the divine order, everything is going to work spectacular and beautiful. Now, here's a to make a comment on
Yes,
that?
sir.
Glenn?
Yep.
And I got something else to say.
No, I was just going to say that's why the parental involvement and transparency and making sure there's the ability for parents to get in and again, not trusting a bureaucrat, but empowering the parent to make those type of decisions. So forth.
Yeah,
So.
3.5 years I tried. My
Yep.
hardest I've ever tried at anything.
Yes, sir.
To save my daughter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But they didn't care.
Yes, sir.
Okay? They only cared about one thing, and that's ruining that child's mind.
That's right.
Okay? They didn't care about which parent was the best person to put this child with. They didn't care that I coached 300 kids already and raised 2 already successfully. They didn't care about that. Okay? So now for the education question. I read the paper every day and we see the epic. Now, the newspaper and everything talking about what terrible folks these are and everything. I'm looking at it the other way. I think it's quite possible that they're outside of the public education system. They're trying to do what's right and so forth. But yet the state is trying to snowball them and craft a program and investigate them and charge them and everything. So we've got to get outside of what they think is right.
So it's important for parents to have options. And, the virtual schooling, there's a lot of people I go around to who really like it. They like that. There's some people that don't like it. But that's where it's good to have that option available. So if parents want to go take their kid to do those courses, they can.
And ethics is more focused on the things we talked about, right? Math and all this, and not whether you're a boy or a girl or all these things.
Yeah. It's very direct and it's very transparent for parents.
Yeah, that's one word. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I've noticed that just with my friends and stuff, my son's like 31 now, so. But with these textbooks and stuff, they're telling them, don't bring the textbook home. We don't want your
That's
parents
right.
to see it.
Well, that's because the Democrats have been doing the school books for years. They're the ones that have been picking which school books the kids use.
They don't want mom and dad seeing it again.
Yeah. And that's where transparency has to be paramount. I mean, every time a parent ever asks me, "What are your kids doing?" and what are my kids? I put it all available for them from day one. I want my response always was, "Thank you. You're that involved in your kids' education. You want to see what we're doing? That's fantastic. That's great. I want you as a partner here. That's what a good teacher. That's how a good teacher should view that, right? So absolutely. But I'll do one more, and then I'll go ahead and
Okay,
sit down.
on the school, on the textbooks, are we going to, is it possible to vote on what textbooks we are going to use? Because they have changed, because wording has been changed, and some of the basic information have been changed in the textbooks that we're getting now.
That's right.
And it's not correct.
And the Department of Education
I know.
is the one that does the approval of what textbooks state dollars can be used for. And so that's, again, it's the power of that. And that's why I'm asking you guys here at the end, if you like the vision I'm laying out, if you like what I'm saying, please follow us on all of our social media channels. Give us your information so we can give you the newsletter. Any money, obviously, it takes a lot to run a statewide campaign. I would obviously ask for, but I'm telling you guys more than anything, if you tell your friends, talk to people, tell them, hey, we like what he's doing, we like the vision that he has. I ask you to do all those things. I need all the help that I can get in this. I'm telling you, the teachers union and everything else is lining up against me, coming after me pretty hard. And that's the reality. I knew that getting in, right? But that's where we have to speak up. That's where we have to push these things forward and talk about kind of what we want for our kids. So that's my ask of you. If you could, again, give us your information. We'd love to stay in contact with you. So I appreciate, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sit down over here and appreciate, guys, all those questions are fantastic. You're spot on, and sure appreciate you guys being here. Thank you all.